Hey guys, how's everybody doing? We are off to the races. What's going on, Mateo? How you doing, Cecilia? How are you guys doing? What you guys working on? Crocheting away. Oh, that's what I started doing. What's going on, Spring? Hey, Nana. What's going on? What's going on, Jen? Got all my peeps. What's going on, Jeremy? False Maria's Doc. How you doing? Give us a few more minutes and then we'll get rocking and rolling. How's everybody doing? What's everybody working on? Crocheting away or knitting away? Hello, Lorraine. JB's. Well, we've got 11, so might as well get this rocking and rolling. I'm sorry, guys. It took me this week. It took me a little bit to dust the cobwebs out from my fishing trip, which was absolutely wonderful. So I'm back in business. I started on a shawl, which I'll show, and I'm actually using Rena's threads, Rena's cakes. So that's been a challenge. I'm not as fast as I was, like heavier yarn, so it's a little bit more for me. It's a little bit more fidgety. So I'm dealing with it, and that's cool, Jen. I like that shirt. If it's the one I'm thinking of. Um, so here we all are. First of all, I want to go over some knitting stuff because I had a couple of questions over the past few days. I said I would take one for the team, and I did. I went to Michael's on Monday and actually got a set of these. And you could kind of say I'm a needle snob because I have my Chiagus. But I'll tell you what, these are running a close second. I was really surprised. I really liked the Prim, these ergonomic knitting needles, and it was cool. They were only like $9 at Michael's, so there's not like a huge investment like getting the what's going on, Rob. It's not like getting a huge, you know, shelling out a huge amount of money like for the Chagus. These were really good. So as you can see, I was a little brutal on the box, but that's the box. The ones I got were US 11s, 8 millimeters, and so they're actually really good. Um, the biggest thing that I really liked about these was, if you can see it, which is which, and this goes for my Chiagos too. The the connecting cable is actually steel. It's actually metal, so it doesn't have a memory. Which I was fighting a lot of the other knitting needles that I used. I was fighting that cord, all the time, because the the plastic cords have a memory and they kink up, and they're, what's going on, Rena? They're kind of brutal because you have to soak them and then stretch them and then all of that. So it's really nice to see that these have a steel connecting cable, which is really good, which makes things a lot easier. So I was kind of knitting a little swatch here. I got yarn all over the place. Um, which was, I did a few rows of purl and a few rows of just regular knit stitch. And I can't see it all that great. Kind of shows. And either way, either purling or knit stitch, they were really good. So the needles themselves have this like weird tip on them. So when I'm using them, it's actually no judge, because I'm self taught. So I knit kind of odd. Because I tell them, they ask me like at the yarn store, oh, what kind of knitting style do you have? And I said caveman. So I that's kind of that's what I tell everybody. I knit caveman. And they, oh, do you knit continental, or are you knit English? I said, no, I knit caveman. So um, with these, you can actually get a good. They're actually nice and smooth. Um, the only thing that I found that I really didn't care for with these is the plastic. Um, and see, you have to kind of fight with it to push it up. So when I'm knitting, it tends to bunch all up. Whereas unlike my Chiagus, it just slides off onto the cable because the whole needle is steel and it's slick. So it tends to, instead of bunching up like that on the end of the needle, it tends to slide right off with the other ones. So when I knit, it doesn't want to slide back. That's the only complaint I have. That's the only, what's going on, Mama G? That's the only complaint I have about these, is that they're plastic and they kind of hang up going over the back of the needle, whereas the metal ones slide back. What's going on, Michi? It's good that you got all that blue out of your microwave. Shh. um, so that's the only kind of quirk that I would say is when it goes back. These are actually like the cubic ones. They're actually, you can see them. They're actually like more triangle shaped, which they're actually really comfortable. For these, I would say for like a beginner, these are really good needles because be you're not gonna have your project like slipping all over the place like on like the Chiagus. They're very slippery as far as the needle itself. So these needles tend to have a little bit of grip to them against the. See, it's a little bit, but I knit a little bit tighter anyways. But it tends to like catch a little on it to give it some friction. So these I think would be really good for someone who wants to start out, because number one, you're not fighting the cord, which is a pain in the wazoo, and the needles themselves are actually pretty nice to use. They're not bad. And these were, I want to say, they were only $9 at Michael's is where I got them. But I know you can get them on Amazon and other. But even like my stitches came out like nice. The stitching, um, the purling even was decent. So I mean, for as far as bang for the buck, ah, don't stick the yarn through the computer. As far as bang for the buck, these are actually really decent. I would tell somebody who's starting out to get these, to use these, and then move up to a metal one. Also, a big thing with starting knitting, for those of you that are crocheters and might want to try it, start out with a thicker yarn, like maybe like a bulky, um, you know, or even even super bulky. But I would start with a bulky, and then as you get used to using, ah, I'm all tangled now. There we go. As you start getting used to using the yarn, and doing stuff, you know, with the bulky 5, then move down to a 4, then move down to, a worsted, and then move down to DK. Once you get comfortable with each one, because it'll actually make it easier to, when you change thread weights or yarn weights, thread weights. Um, so these are nice. I'm thinking I'm actually gonna get another pair of these, get another size. I actually like these, and these would be really good for to take on trips and stuff. So you're not taking your really expensive Chiagu set, on the road. So these are actually, if you haven't, hey guys, if you haven't checked them out, Um, check out these needles. They're really good. At least in my opinion. And I'm not being sponsored by Prim because, as we all know, I don't like the I don't necessarily care for the Prim crochet needle or crochet hooks. But these knitting needles, I would give them a whirl. I mean, after giving them a whirl, I actually kind of dig them. So I'm gonna use these like for my traveling pair, which will be good. Um, use the one weight. I can't have ergonomic crochet hooks, and that really helps. Um, with me, because I'm a knife holder, and it's I like to have like a big, like, I guess it would be like holding on to a wrench, kind of, you know. So I like, so that I don't particularly care for the skinny ones, but I like that it's got some heaviness and some grip in the middle, and that's more comfortable. That's more comfortable for me to use as far as crochet hooks, like my furls. The Omni ones are a good choice if you haven't if you haven't tried them. The Omni ones are good. And then I'd actually like to give a shout out to Fiber Floozy Crafts. She gave me a shout out a couple of days ago because Russ and I were on the live and we were actually talking about those knitting needles. And so Fiber Floozy gave me a shout out, and I'd like to say thank you to her for the shout out. Now, this weekend, we're Fiber Jazz, Rebecca, and I are going to take a little trip, and you guys are going to come along. It's actually, we're going to go to um, one of my favorite yarn shops that's local to us. And lady that owns, I spoke to the owner of the yarn shop, and she's all for it. And we're gonna go in and take a look at some yarn and take a look at some notions, and they have all kinds of stuff. The place is huge. So we're gonna go there this weekend, and I'm gonna, take my phone along and grab some good video. And so that should be ready on Saturday, or not Saturday, on Sunday, because I've gotta take a look at it. And the lady, the this particular store, I'll be posting after our trip. I'm gonna post the link to her store. She's very hands on with people. It's a wonderful store. And pretty much anything Noro, um, Manos de Uruguay, Malabrigo. What else does she have? She's got like, she has even she has yarn from Portugal. So it gotta hook me up. So it's gonna be a good time. We'll take a look at a lot of stuff, and you know, there's some she had like the Noro she has. She's got a big selection of it, and it's gonna be fun. So that's what we're gonna do on Saturday. So it should be a good time. Let me catch up to the chat because the chat is like bananas. Oh, thanks, Jeremy. I'm glad you got the Malabrigo, and I'm glad you like it. I'm glad it's working up good for you. We're gonna take a look at some Malabrigo on Saturday too, because I need to pick up some. Um, I've always wanted the Manos de Uruguay, which is kind of like Malabrigo, but kind of not. They kind of have different philosophies as far as the yarn goes. So I want to take a look at some of that. So it should be a lot of fun. Her shop is a lot of fun. I mean, it's like a kid, really a kid in a candy store as far as that goes. The shop is just amazing. So there's going to be a lot to look at. There's going to be a lot to look at. Um, I don't know if the last time we were up there, I'm not sure if she had any crochet like stuff, like as far as hooks, because I wasn't looking for it. I had, I was still very much knitting. So I'm gonna take a look and see what hook she has. She usually for the needles, I know she's got Addie and she's got Chiagu, um, and I want to say Knitter's Pride is the needles is the stuff that she carried. So she carries a lot of stuff. So that'll be fun. And then like I said, um, I have a little. I started on a shawl. I'm using a. I'm. I kind of got the producer kind of got mad. Was kind of upset with me because I'm using a pattern which I really liked and I'm familiar with, just because it's a smaller yarn and I've never crocheted with it. So it's actually doing one of the Granny Virus shawls from Fiber Spider, and I'm using. I have actually a O Fire hook that this is care of Michi. Thank you, because Michi, I won this along a while ago on Michi's channel. So I'm trying out this O Fire, and then I have this Zing. Whoop. And I kind of like the Zing. It's actually long enough. I've got some space on the needle or on the needle. I'm getting everything all wound up. On the hook, it has a little bit of length to it, so I can like move it around. Whereas the O Fire, it's a little small, but it's doable. I mean, it's comfortable. So um, that's the needles that I'm working with. The color I'm working with is actually Rena's, and it's Rena's Wildflowers, which is the cake, I said I was gonna try out. So it's a really pretty cake. I really like it. I like using the yarn. I'm just doing it like really slow because it's kind of fidgety for me. But so far, what I was working on it last night, and I was kind of taking my time because I wanted to make sure I you know got it right. And that I know it doesn't look like much, but that's the little swatch that at this point, as far as I've gotten. So I think it's coming out really pretty. The colors are really nice, and I like that it's got that pink in it. I actually like that. So I got to keep going, but it's coming out. I think it's coming out nice. It's just getting used to. Getting used to using that particular um, yarn. So you guys think it's okay? I thought it was pretty good. So and thank you for Tarina. I bought the cake from her. Um, if you want to buy anything from Rena's, you don't. It's not that you have to. But if you want to buy something from Rena's, I have a, a,
Rena said that's a
a
good start.
I have a link on my description in my on my channel. If you sign up for hers for on her website through my link, you get a $5 off your first purchase, and then after that, a little bit will go to my channel to support my channel. So you're not obligated, but if you want to buy something from Rena's and you haven't, and you want to get a discount, use my go ahead and feel free to use the link. It's in my description. So that was actually really cool of Rena to do that. And I have to say, you know, Mare, maraming salamat, and which is actually I speak Tagalog, and which that means, thank you very much. And so um, I appreciate everybody's support, and I appreciate Rena hooking me up with that link. And so you guys take advantage of it. Another thing I wanted to kind of show, which I haven't, but I've been using it quite a bit, which is this bad boy. And I got this on Amazon, and it spins like really freely. It's not like the other yarn holders that you got to fight with it to get it to spin. This one you have to fight with it to get it to stop. So this one, it, if you like going, outside in, um, this is you don't get any yarn barf, you don't get any nothing. This thing is really wonderful. It's the best one I've used, and they're really nice to work with. I've actually got two of them. Fiber Jazz Rebecca has a smaller one, and I have the bigger one because the cakes that I'm using are a little bit bigger. So I got those. I got that from Amazon, like I said, and I've loved working with it since, because I have a ball winder. So when I cake up hanks and stuff, I can put it on there and just go to town. So those work really well. But I'm kind of impressed with that. I'm really pleased with it being that small and that delicate, that like I'm actually able to work it up pretty easily. So in the coming week, I will get this all more straightened out and add to it. But I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to show you guys this because this was really cool. I was really excited about this because I was kind of hesitant about using um, that small of yarn, but it's cool. I really like it. So it's really cool. Um, no, I didn't do. I'm not a magic ring kind of like person. You can do it with the magic ring. What I did was you chain 10 and then go back through the the first chain, and that's what I did on this. I didn't use the magic ring. but it comes out, you know, pretty much just the same.
She said, well, I'm on.
So that's cool. I'm happy with that. I haven't been working on the blanket. I've been fiddling with other stuff, um, getting back my what they say, Crojo. Because of the fishing thing, I was tired, so now I'm back in action. And I wanted to, since Rena's in here, I also wanted to say thank you. I bought this from Rena's, and I had been waiting for this color, and this color is. I mean, you can't see it real good through the plastic, but this was the one I was from Rena's that I was waiting for, and it's killer color. I like this one, and this one is artichoke. So this is the next one I want to. This is the next one I want to work with. I really like. I was really happy to get this, and thanks to Rena, um, because I asked her to when this comes into when she gets this back in stock to give shoot me an email because I had bought some other stuff from her, and she emailed me and said this is in stock. So thank you to her for that. So Rena's got some really good um, customer service as far as that goes.
Brenda said,
So take a look at that. Take a look at those. There was another kind of odd kind of purchase. Um, we were kind of horsing around. I'm not so much a Timu kind of guy, but um, Fiber Jazz Rebecca, um, the producer, took the initiative and actually got some of these crochet hooks from Timu. So, like coming up, I'm gonna take a look at them. I know they weren't that like crazy expensive, so I'm gonna take a look and see if they're any good, and I'll give you a review on these to let you know if they're actually worth it or not. But I haven't played with. I mean, I took them out and I kind of you know messed with them a bit, but I didn't actually crochet anything with them. So we figured when I was starting with that one weight, I was gonna try using the smaller ones, but I decided you could probably go smaller, but ah you could probably go smaller, but what I used on this, this is a size. This is a size G. So this is a 4 millimeter is what the hook I'm using for that. And so I decided to use mine instead of let's cut down the variables a little bit, you know, on what I was using. So I've got that going. I told you about the yarn haul. Um,
show them the other team.
the other Timu, if you like, we also got a second set of hooks, which were these, which are they're very much like the clovers. Um, I'm not a big like clover fan, and these are actually
pretty close to the point.
They're close, but the only thing with these is I didn't. It's they're too short for me, and that's also the problem I have with the clovers.
They're a little bit bigger.
Is they're just too I they're just too small for me. I'm not too sure about the hooks. I haven't tried them, but I picked it up and I was like, oh, that's it's very much like the clovers, but they're just
cheaper.
they're just a little smaller. They're a little too small for me. So I'm probably not going to use these, but I'm gonna try with the other hooks because they're a little longer and I tend to like those. But if you like the clovers, I would check out these on Temu. And producer, how much were these?
Those were $5.89.
These were $5.89 on Temu.
Yeah,
So you can't beat that with a stick.
yeah.
So that's not bad, and it's a whole set. Um, and they are a little bit bigger than the clovers,
Yeah, they're chunky.
but they have that same to me. They have that same feel, and they're still just a tad bit small. So anyone with I've got the big caveman paws. So if you have smaller hands, those would actually work really well. So you might take a look at Timu. Um,
The other ones were like $12.
and the other ones, um,
More like 12.
Rebecca's telling me that those were about $12. Okay, she did the shopping on that. I didn't. I was while she was looking at that, I was looking at the Furls website, and I really dig those brand new. They have a brand new red set of streamlined metal ones, and I was eyeing those because they're really pretty. Those are really cool. Um, I'm not sponsored by Furls, but those were the red ones were the bomb. They were really pretty. So we got that. We got, you know, we were kind of looking at different things at the same time. What I'll do is in the description of the live, for those of you that want to check out Rena's, I'll put, once I go off, I'll put um, my link to Rena's in the description. So that way you can go to Rena's and if you want to shop and get a bit of a discount on, you know, her yarn, because her yarn is actually really cool. So there's no, like I said, there's no obligation, but I'll put the link. Check it out. I'm really kind of digging. I mean, Rena, I wish they were a little thicker yarn, but other than, I mean, it's really nice stuff. It's been really decent to work with. Um, another set that we got, and I haven't tried it
Oh, it's for me.
because it's for um, Fiber Jazz Rebecca, and because she actually does Tunisian, I don't right now. And this is the set of
Tunisian.
Tunisian hooks that she got that have the cords and the stoppers and all that. So these are the Tunisian hooks that
Yeah.
she bought. And these are actually pretty decent. I actually would crochet with these without just using them as regular hooks because I think I like the points on these.
Because I was
These have nice points on them.
because I was recommended by Nina's Knots Crochet to look at Timu for these because they had a
They're
good price.
they're actually really nice.
They had a good price for those, and she was thinking maybe they were going to be out of them pretty soon. They were on sale. They were regularly 39. I got them for 26. So you can get them for a better deal. So $26, and it came with the cords and everything, and a little kit. Can't beat it. And a little kit.
And the kit with the stoppers and all the little stuff.
It came with a couple of cords
and a couple of
and a nice
different
leather bag.
cords and a leather bag.
Mm-hmm.
Got to go with what the producer says. So I gotta try my hand at Tunisian. Some people say it's a lot like knitting, because you have to. There's 2 rows, but I know MDL is the one that does the Tunisian. I have no idea.
And a shout
But
out to Nina's Knots and Knots Crochet for recommending.
But like as far as these hooks go, I would just use these as regular hooks. These have I like that they have a good point on them.
Mm-hmm.
So we may be trying them out as regular hooks, or we may be doing the Tunisian. So that's something to look forward to also. The cotton I got from one is so pretty, Rena. It's a colorway I love. I've gotten a couple of Rena's cakes. I mean, and I know I showed them. I know I showed them the other day, but I'm not. Sorry, guys. I'm not a big orange, but this one is cool. And this one is Braveheart 2. And this one's kind of neat. So she's got a lot of, check her out. She's got a lot of neat stuff. So we're gonna check out this weekend, kind of recapping because we've got about 15 minutes. Because I want to stick to kind of an hour. So I'm respectful to everybody because everybody's got stuff to do, and if you're on the East Coast, it's late, and you got to get ready for work tomorrow. If you work, if you're retired, not so much. Is there any pressing questions anybody has or anything like? Because I'm looking through. Sugar Diamond is in the house. Shout out to Sugar Diamond.
Brenda Smith says, I've got one of those spinners on the list and have another kind, and it looks great.
And Mama G, it's it's almost time for bedtime for her. And then me, I'm gonna sit down and work on a couple of projects for a little while, and then I'm gonna crash because I'm excited for the haul on Saturday. It should be a blast. And I'll leave the links. What I'll do is tonight I'll leave the links for Rena's, and then on the weekend I will leave the links to the shop that we're gonna go to. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have a good time. That's what I was talking about when I said we're going to go visit a friend of mine on the weekend and record it for you guys. It's this really killer yarn shop. It's up north of us, so we're gonna have it's gonna be cool. We're gonna take a look at some really good stuff. Also, like I said, if you want those. I would recommend, in my opinion, if you're gonna start crocheting or start knitting. I've had a long day, folks. It's, work has been we've been going hammer and tongs at work. Um, if you want to start knitting, these would be a good set
What are they called?
of needles to use, and these are Prim ergonomic needles. And do yourself a favor. If you don't take anything away from if you don't take anything away from this, is if you're gonna start with a set that has metal cables to it. Um, I cussed a lot with the sets that I had because of the cables, but you can see these cables, they don't kink, they don't, and that's one less thing when you're learning that to you're fighting, because I when I switched from straight needles to like these kind of needles, I fought the cable because the cables would be like, like this, and they would stay like that. So these are outstanding. So check these out. They're upside down. So these are the prims. Like I said, these are the 11s. Um, these are the purple. But even this funny little tip thing isn't too bad. I was pretty hesitant about it, but it's not bad. So check those out. On the weekend, we'll check out some Addies, because I know the store carries Addies. So we can take a look at those. I know they carry Chagus, and then all the yarn. So we've got that coming up this weekend. Also, I talked to Russ today, and we're gonna do a live either Friday or Saturday, depending on his work schedule, because he doesn't know if he has to work. So I should be on a live, and I will stream that through my channel. But also keep an eye out, if you see it on my channel, actually go to Russ's channel, because then you can see all the chat and comments and stuff, because he's the one that usually hosts it. So kind of keep an eye out with that. Um, let's see. And also, like always, I mean, YouTube doesn't have the rocker thing, but they've got thummies. So smash the thummies. If you like the content and you want to subscribe, please feel free to subscribe. I appreciate you guys. This week, all the comments from about my fishing trip, and all the stuff that I'm doing. Everybody has really nice comments, and I appreciate it. It makes it even that much more fun, and it's a blast to come on here and kind of laugh with you guys, and just have a good time. Um,
Yarn from the king.
and you know, I know you hear Fiber Jazz Rebecca in the background. Um, and she's the kind of the support system for me. So I appreciate her help. I know Patty B Gaming wasn't on tonight. I know he's kicking it at home. Um, so thanks to him, for the fishing trip and for hanging out. I had one last thing, I wanted to show you. Along with the hooks, there's yarn. It's Timu yarn. So I'm not so sure. I haven't opened it or anything, but it's 73% cotton, 27 acrylic. Um, 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 um. It doesn't give a hook size or anything. That's really all it kind of says. So I'm gonna take a look at it. I want to like let's rip this bad boy apart. Wow, these are little tiny little buddies. I don't know. It's maybe a 3. It seems the colorway is not bad. It's soft. It's, she hates it when I do this. Just stop rubbing it all over the place. But it's not bad as far as it being soft. So it may be worth checking out.
I got it free.
It was like a bonus thing on Temu. So you know me, I'm not about the Temu yarn. I'm about the bougie yarn. So you know she's in the background taking it, hooking it up for you guys on the value yarn, and I'm taking a look at the bougie yarn. You know, typically when she's looking at like this kind of stuff, I'm looking at like
Do both.
other stuff like Malabrigo and stuff. I mean, I use Karen, I use Red Heart, you know, I use Yarn Bee. I actually got. Is this a Yarn Bee one? No, this is a Premier. This is another one I wanna take a stab at, and it's Premier Anti Peeling DK. And this one is really soft, but it's got like a happy kind of color wave to it, and I like that. So that's another one I've got to you know take a run at. So let's see. I don't do the sniff test. No. I you know, the softness test. You know, I'll go for that. But like the whole sniffing the yarn thing, I don't know about that. That's a little like I don't know. Everybody's asking for the sniff test. Oh no.
Let's see.
Okay, just because you guys asked, I
It smells okay.
no. I'm kidding.
You dropped my yarn.
I dropped her yarn. She's gonna be mad at me.
Oh, now you're gonna drop another one, huh?
It's not. It doesn't smell bad. It smells. I don't know.
Oh, you're gonna get another one, huh?
It doesn't. I don't know what it smells like. I mean, it's not. It smells like It smells like, I guess, a cotton mill. So now I gotta pick this up because I was being funny and I threw the yarn all over the place. Ugh. Sorry, guys. I know that's probably not the best shot of me, but I had to, you know, had to be. Had to be, you know, considerate and put all those back. Just like my grandfather used to tell me, I used to borrow his tools, and if they weren't back in the proper order the way he had them, Oh, there'd be hell to pay. I would get it. So, you know, it's the rubber band theory. It's got to go back to where it came from in the same way it came from. So, since Rena was the one that asked me to smell the yarn, and now it's only fair. Wow, Rena's yarn smells good.
Rena said LOL.
Rena's yarn smells good.
Okay.
It smells like clothes.
Okay.
Sorry about the thing. I gotta put this one back. I gotta keep this one safe. And then other than that, this week, I actually picked up some Red Heart Melange, and this is Catwalk. I didn't used to like the melange, but now I do. I like the way it turns out. So I got some more. I got 3 cakes of melange catwalk. Typically, like with the shawls, at least the ones that I make, it's usually about 2 cakes. So that's with this. It's 389 yards. So it's like 778 for 2 cakes. That took me a minute. I deal with numbers all day long. You can tell I'm tired because I didn't just pop that math right out. So is so good night, False Maria's duck. I'm gonna head out here in a couple of minutes so I can let everybody get some rest and relax and work on some of their projects. So thank you to everybody for just being wonderful and supportive, and you guys are the best. I think I know we all see each other on different channels and all of the best, but I'm telling you, my subscribers are the best. I'm just throwing that out there. So we'll see you. Good night to all of you guys. And to Rina, maraming salamat. And to the rest of everybody, have a good night. We'll see you guys on the weekend if I go live with Russ. I hope some of you are up late because Russ and I guess he's a night owl, but it's not so like crazy in the middle of the night for me because I'm on the West Coast. So if you guys are on taking a look, come by, say hi, talk some mess. We'll have some fun because Russ and I are, if you've seen the lives, Russ and I are always cutting it up and talking about silly things, which, it's a lot of fun. So you all have a good weekend to come, a excellent Friday, and have a very good weekend. And I appreciate all you guys. Hit the thummies on the way out if you haven't. And thank you guys. You guys are the best. And we'll see you this weekend. Okay? We'll see y'all later. Take care. And I'll post Rena's link in the description for this video, because we gotta, and and so I will see you all on this weekend. You guys take care. Have a good weekend, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.